How's it going, ScrubGamers? Welcome back to another video, and this time, once again, a breakdown video, but instead of Newport, we're covering the CardMarket Webcam Regional that happened the Saturday just gone, and we're going to go over the top 16 with a breakdown, showing all the decks that made it, and then go over the list as well. Also, once again, I would put this in my previously in DBS series, because that is a series which covers all news in the week from the week in one big video at the end of the week to go through in one go. And normally I would cover this because it's news for the week, covering for the European events. But some people have made good comments about being in the previously in DBS series is not easy as known that is in there, and it's not as easy to find. So what I've decided to do is, going forward, just put the breakdown in the video that just showed the breakdown of top 16 to see what decks made it in, and then have a separate video to go more in depth into it and also go over the lists of the decks that made the top 16. So without further ado, we'll go into the breakdown with the first one, with it being so with the breakdown we had 8 different decks making it, with half of them being the top 2 dominant tier 1 decks of the format, being Dark Broly and Mega Frieza. So they're both showing that they are top dogs in the format. And then just behind them, with almost as many showing in the top 16, was King Vegeta, popping in with 3 different decks in the top 16. And the rest are all just one-ons. So we have a King Piccolo that made it, so that is still a good red deck. Agro Sim popping in as well, which one we haven't seen since the first regional of this year. We've had it in there, but haven't seen it in the last one or the one before. Well, yeah, the last 2 we haven't seen Agro Sin be in the top cut. Then we've got Cell Surge, showing that it's still a really good deck, despite people wondering how it does well in this format. Given that the format's quite quick and Cell Surge is not the quickest deck, but still, it was we had one player managed to take it all the way to top 16, show that it's still a strong deck. Then we had a Kid Gohan deck, the blue-yellow one, the one for the leader from set 11, and also one Hatch sneaking in as well. Hatch X is the one that you don't really see that often in top 16 cut, and is normally quite a deck. It has trouble getting into top cuts because of how it's quite a slow deck because of its inherent ability of the leader. But one player did manage to pilot all the way in top 16, showing that it's showing it's an unexpected one and can do well. So that's the top 16 breakdown. Not surprising there. Really only you could no green decks unless you want to count Cell Surge as a green deck, but it does kind of play as green decks. Green is all about discarding and stuff and hand control, so you could count as a green deck. But no King Cold because I see a lot of Dark Broly, and Dark Broly is the worst matchup for King Cold, absolutely horrific. And no blue really, unless you want to count Kid Gohan as a blue deck, but then it's more yellow than it's blue, just with the good bits of blue to help untap and things like that. So not much of a show with blue, because you could still count, as I said, Cell Surge as green. So without further ado, let's go into the decks and the lists. So starting off with first place, Manuel managed to take it with Dark Broly. I think he's a member of Team 9 Life, so along with Mert, who took the last one, Team 9 Life taking back-to-back wins of the CardMarket series. I think it's quite a similar list, is it? I like Mert. He actually has all 4 super combos, 4 Vegeta super combos. He just have to play that Goku, and he has, I think, as Mert was saying, as many 4. It's all the cards he actually wants to play. So yeah, quite standard with the Dark Broly lineup with the Vindicator, the Broly, go with the ball, play them out cheaper from the deck. Total Search the ball, Brainwash to avoid taking strike damage. So you can reduce it. You can basically just take a life crit a life to avoid taking the damage. Then they go Vegeta Chain, the Vegeta package with free to TP, which isn't lead locked, when it should be, and the other one that gives you a blocker removal, and then the Overwhelm Goku and Vegeta, giving you hand control and recursion from the warp, and be targets for the Unifusion like Gogeta. Demigod being a standard super combo. The Kai as well being a good negate. It's easy to pull off in here because you can easily warp 3 of your own cards. Only one SS4 Heartfelt Play, which is it's quite interesting. Some people do run 2, like between 2 and 3, to kind of make sure they can see it. But as it's not like consistent to see, and you're not going to see it, be able to pull it off every game. I imagine he had it once. If he did see it and could pull it off, he could, and if not, is less their cards in hand. And we have the one champer deal with the 4 balls, 2 power bursts from the gate, 2 super Kamehameha, which some Dark Brother decks and most black decks will main in best of 1 because you have no side deck and it helps deal with things like topo and things, stuff like that. And also, lastly, the secret of choice being Lineage, which is a very good one. So Kai, normally it's between this and Kai, but the Lineage is probably a lot stronger than Kai because Kai has got a lot of energy and isn't that a necessity for this deck. That's for first place. Going into second place, we have Ivan Garcia. So we have Ivan for second place with his King Vegeta. So it's quite a standard list, but with a few inches and choices. So as you can see, running this normal it says 51 card deck because it's setting a 50 card deck because the Young Invaders come out from the leader as soon as you start the game. And with the Invaders, went for a 2-2 split on Raditz Vegeta, which is what a lot of people have been doing since Andrew Devoe first debuted it when he played it in the PPG event, running 2-2 split. Then he's running 4 of the SSG Vegeta because it's a Searcher and Quick Pressure, with 2 of the Goku one because you can use it off of by using the Raditz. 4 switching gears as a standard staple for this deck. And then with the chain attack cards, got 3 Bardock and 2 Borgos. Borgos basically just being a 1-drop cantrip, becomes a 15 gear attacker. When you got 3 or more Red Saiyan or Bardock's crew cards on board, which includes itself, and Bardock being the same, but instead of drawing, being able to minus things on attack when it swings and becoming critical as well. So this is like a way to, because normally with this deck, you can minus easily on your opponent's turn. The trigger leader's awakened side minus, but not on your turn. So this Bardock gives a way for the trigger on both turns as well. Then we got the Broly, which is a pretty good card to help deal with when your opponent leaves too many energy out, to help with bond and also give yourself a bit of hand knowledge, look at your opponent's hand. You've got standard Raditz Super Combo, a really good super combo for this, but allowing you to put back these Young Invaders and draw some into cards, and you can easily search for this off the leader's attack and this Vegeta and the SSG Vegeta as well. Then going with the help for the Unison, we got 2 of the new Roller and 3 Yamcha to go with the 4 Piccolo. Interesting that he's one for Piccolo because I know people have been adopting Jiren because it works so well with the Unison, but I'm guessing Piccolo adds a bit more draw power to the deck to keep up hand size. And then useful text he's got is 1 SSB Kaioken for dealing with barrier cards, 1 Kai for that double strike pressure, and interesting one, he's running 1 of the SS3 Nappa Same Might as well, which is a card which came out in set 7 as one of the cards that which I just saw push from mono colored. So this is a 4 cost 20k with critical. Basically, its permanent says if you have any card in any non-private area, being board, warp, like on field, warp, drop, leader area, basically anywhere where it's not a private area, then you can't play it from any area. But when you do play it, you choose 1 card in your opponent's life and place in your drop area. So this is pretty cool. It's a good way to if you get your opponent down to 1, having a way to just finish the game off just playing this, which is pretty interesting. Kai of Secret choice being the Kai with 2 Fate, which has been the standard for King Vegeta. The extra card lineup, 3 Raise and 3 Imposing, which is what a lot of King Vegeta use, and 2 Death Ball. And then the other text he has is 1 Testing the Opposition very good negate. It's kind of these kind of rebates we got in Battle Evolution are slowly replacing the sparking negates we've had back in set 5. Well, the exception being blue because Dimension Magic's still an insane card. And then one Wolfang Fist as well, because once you establish your unison, you try to protect it, and it's free with the unison, and also triggers your lead as well. So pretty standard and pretty strong list. Nice having that little nap attack, which is pretty cool. But on to third place, we have Theron Rio. I'm not 100% sure if his first name is Ferran or if it's Rio. Apologies to the player if I've got that wrong, because I'm not great with names, especially European names as well. And that was how I saw on the standings. But he was running Dark Broly with quite a similar list to the first place, just having 4 of the 7-drop instead of 3. Only 1 Brainwashed. Instead of the 3 TP Vegeta for the Gogeta chain, he was running one of the main set 1, which costs an energy to play, has critical, and when it swings, you can warp up the 4 cost of energy battle cards on your opponent's board. He's also running the 1-drop True Fighting Spirit, which is great for black to help deal with blue, because black's not a great matchup for blue's not a great matchup for. Well, blue isn't a great matchup for things like Dark Broly in most black decks. Well, not I say most, but for Dark Broly at least, it helps mitigate with all the counters. 1 card negate, and then 2 of the SS4 Heartfelt Plea, and like with the an attack in Super Kamehameha, which seems to be a non-black. So quite a standard list. Few difference from the everyone. So we'll move on because that's quite similar. So in 4th place we have Jan with his Mecha Freeze list. So Jan was playing the more aggressive version of a mecha, like we've been seeing recently with the people that even being more aggressive with swinging in, with Bean and stuff like that to push their plays through. So it's quite standard from most mecha decks you see, where we got the Bergamo, which is easy to pull off with Power of Super Saiyan, Warcry, things like that, standard yellow cards with tech in. The tech cards we got is a cooler to help, which is I think is mostly there for against decks like Baby with their Baby Hatch, and the Son Goku Absolute Annihilation for things in the Mirror and King Cold. He got a super, and then he's gone for a split with super combo with having 4 Krillin and 1 Zamasu just to help with 308 rival to go with the hit and a way to tap things down if needed. Standard the Bojack, 1 copy of the Saran Hop, so you can bring it off the assemble, or you can have it to charge as a way to charge a blue green without having your coming rest with energy exhaust. Where if you have a U9, which is easy enough to pull off with Bergamo at 3 copies of Basil. And he's running 2 of the new Zamasu, which is a very strong card because it hits unisons. So I think against decks like Bojack, where they want to normally go on turn 4, play their unison so they can awaken with their alternative awaken condition, and this just stops it, puts it back in the hand, which is insanely good. And then we have the 1 card like we've been putting in for just helpful double strike pressure. And then for his overwhelms of choice, he opted to go for 1 Secret Identity, 1 Fate, and then surprisingly 1 Scientist Fu as well, which is pretty cool because it's quite interesting. It does cost an energy unlike the other 2, but it does draw you 2 new cards as well as having double strike built into it, unlike the other 2 don't. And standard secret rare choice being card like most mecha decks, and then with the extra cards being quite standard, having 4 Bean, 4 Power Super Saiyan, 4 Final Flash, 4 summoning U9 Assemble, Cold Bloodlust, and 2 Spirit Cannon, which is not something you see much in the EU list for mecha. Like EU lists don't sometimes haven't had Final Spirit Cannon. It seemed like it'd be more of a US thing. But he's running 2 for his list to have an easy way to, with leader on his awakened side, just tap down energy to trigger all your stuff that triggers with a tapping. So I was thinking no Poutine. I can't really know if that's just something that aggressive mecha lists don't want to play. Which is interesting not to see that card in a mecha deck. But that's it for the 4th place. For 5th place, we have a Never Dark Broly list. But this time, I haven't changed the border. Bear with me. So this one is a Never Dark Broly list, piloted by Alfredo Rodriguez. So once again, quite standard, just with a few different tech choices, being Fighting Fates is one as an overrealm in the deck as well. A Meki, which it was interestingly not, which is kind of fallen out of favor. Like it's you don't see that many red Brolys anymore and doing well. It's kind of falling out, and also with it's not as strong against Dark Broly as it used to be, because you can call drop Broly 6, but now they can go into a 7 drop. They have to go Cheetah Chain, they have Demagra, they have loads of different things they can still do, even if they get Meki'd, so it's not as strong as it used to be. And then also you have the Gohan as basically just a free blocker when your opponent removes one of your battle cards. It's quite standard, just with a few different tech choices, nothing more to go over. And then for 6th place we have Miguel with his mecha deck, so never mecha, never aggressive one as well, with a few different tech choices, or a few different differences from the last one. So similar with the starting yellow stuff, just with 2 Absolute Annihilation instead of 1. No, so he's gone for the full. This time this one's gone for a full 4 Krillin, so known as Zamasu, and 3 copies of the Sorrel Hops as alternate thing to be defensive if you want to play off of Unite Assemble. And as I said before, if you get a Unite on board, it's a way to charge a blue an energy that's blue without having it come in rest with energy exhaust. And then they have a freeway once you do that to arrival in Bojack. And then everyone's the same apart from it doesn't have the Scientist Who. Save Secret Rare, 1 Repulse for a negate and a champion instead of the Kai. And surprisingly he's running a copy of Android 17 and 18 Demonic Duo, which is kind of similar to Warcry in the fact that it's a 2-cost 10k combo, but it's a deflect dual attacker 19k. And that when you combo it comes and gets played in your battle area, but it has a once per turn where you can choose one of your yellow Android battle cards, which is the rest mode. So when your opponent attacks, you can choose one of your opponent's battle cards and negate your skills for the turn. So it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting defensively with that skill. And if it's removed from the battle area by one of your opponent's skills, you can choose one of your opponent's cards and rest it. So that's quite interesting. It's quite an interesting tech. And he's running standard the extra cards, Bloodlust, 4-Bean, Power Super Saiyan, Fun Flash, U9 and Spirit Command, but he's also running 1 Death Ball, which is a way to give your leader a 15k boost. And also if it's your turn, just double check. If it's your turn, you can choose something in rest mode. Yeah, so if your leader card's a freezer card, it gains 15k power for the duration of the battle. So put an extra 15k on your leader for 1 energy. So similar to Final Flash, giving your leader, but only on your leader. And if it's your turn, you choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and rest mode K on it. So it's a way to remove things in rest mode with a swing on your turn. So that's pretty cool. Nothing too much different, like most mecha and Dark Pro lists are quite similar, especially with the mecha list being the more aggressive blue ones. But that's for 6th place. So in 7th place we have Ruben with his King Piccolo deck. So Ruben has previously topped with a King Piccolo again. One of the last CardMarket Regionals, even had an interview with him on my channel. If you want to go and check that out, go and have a look. Goes over his list about goes into depth about his experience in the last CardMarket he topped with his King Piccolo deck and reads beyond some of the tech choices. But his list seems quite similar to what he last had. He liked to put in the 2 Wii super combos to have that extra combo power difference, because you can, if it's a battle card you're using it on, you can -10 the battle cards on the Staff Barrier and put a 20k difference between your lead. Put a 20k difference in. And yeah, like with the Wolfang Fist being a good card when you establish Unison, which is what you want to do as leader. You want to put Unison down turn 2 and then keep it down. And the rest of it, yeah, it's quite standard really. Normal King Piccolo stuff. But then we have for 8th place, we have Javier with his King Vegeta deck. So this is quite similar to Ivan's in 2nd place. I think it is the exact same list. I think it is the exact same list. They were playing the same thing, but not. I think it is. Yeah, it is the exact same list. That's the only difference. Yeah, so it's the exact same list, with the only difference being that Javier was running 3 of the SS Goku free drop, while Ivan was running only 2 with a SSB Kaioken in the deck. So I'm not sure if Javier didn't have a Kaioken or preferred having the Goku. It's just that's the only different. But it's nice both guys managed to top with a similar list, having that Nappa. So I would might try to get him on the channel to talk about the deck and maybe get some insight into why the Nappa was in the deck. That'd be quite cool to understand behind that. But that is for the King Vegeta in 8th place. For 9th place, we have Man with his Mecha Frieza deck. So Man is from TCG Collectibles. Planning is Mecha Frieza. Once again, another blue one being quite aggressive. Quite a few differences in the last one. Not quite a few, but a few differences. So same kind of main yellow lineup with 2 Absolute Annihilation. And once again, a split between only 3 Chrono Super Combo and 1 Zamasu. Overall's being different as well, with just with Fighting Against Fate and the Mirror being a strong one that some people forgot. I don't know if they've forgotten about or just dropped in favour of more because of Fighting Against Fate. But it's just really good overall with the Champa and Kai combos to give double strike to. This is the only one that's so far out of the I won't see so far that is running the Unison, the Vegeta Unison to help against because it does it puts in quite a work against our Broly, but not a lot. But you don't see it often in aggro lists. But it's also another way because you can easily just for free energy tap 3 and then just tap something else down, another battle card down, then it triggers -3 for a dual attacking 20k double striker, which is really cool. And the extra card lineup is quite standard, the same as the rest. It's not much to say, but it's quite. You can see how they all did well, given out because it's kind of evolved now with Mecha Frieza. Before being quite a controlled deck, now you can be very aggressive with it because other people have seen about the use of Bean in it being very strong. That's for 9th place. On 10th place, we're going to have Roy with his aggro Sin. So Roy is one of the very good Sin players. He's been playing it for a while, and he's from the Team Kaiforce, team from the Netherlands. And yeah, so Roy has been doing very well in these webcams this year with his Sin lists. I think he's topped most of them. I think this is like the 3rd one at least I know that he's topped. And this one he decided to go in with a no extra card, no negate one, which is a good way to play aggro Sin. And you see he's quite different from some of the aggro Sins I've seen. He's got the Haze Chain in with the ball and the free drop. I know a lot of aggro Sin decks have dropped the free drop because you can still play the Haze off of the Nova Shenron and then EX Evolve onto it the 4-drop to get that 15k and 20k double strike swing. He's also playing Oceanus, which is more like a defensive one. Like I know I was originally in my list, I was originally playing it because of the fact that you can get the added defense when you drop your Allies Absorb down. An interesting tech choice he's running was 2 of the promo Sin from our premium pack, which is a free drop. I think he's got unique. I think it's his keyword skill. Double check, and So let's have a look. So yeah, it's got an unique, and it's got an activate main where you can it's got two an activate main and activate battle where you can the activate main is if you lead a card's shadow rank, which is you can bounce back a 2 cost or less battle card, shadow rank battle card in your board that's more yellow. Mainly, which he's normally, I think he's saying that he's normally going to go for the rage turn on after you swung with it, put it back in your hand and play itself, and then you can't play this skill for it on. You can't really just the activate main copies of this card for the turn, and so you can bounce that back after swinging it for a 15k crit, and put this on the board to swing for never swinging with it. And then he's got an activate battle where if it's your turn, you can discard a Shadow Dragon card to draw 1. So after bouncing back the rage, you can then swing with it, use the activate battle, discard the rage to draw a card, and yeah, it's pretty good to help cycle through and get an extra swing with it. He's also running SS3 Son Goku Last Straw. This is a very good card for helping deal with unisons because it's one of those 1-drop battle cards where when it attacks you take a life to gain 10k in a skill, and this one gains 10k in double strike, which helps against the unisons. And he's running 2 pan and 1 cooler. Interesting about behind 1 cooler, like I've seen the ones that normally want to run 2, like to go 2 and 2 with the pan and cooler, because you normally want to have pan for when you go down to 2 energy, 2 life, which is easy enough in this deck to be able to restand when you're big swings like Cell or TP Omega, and then cooler to try and see if you can find it sooner. So if they do negate your TP or Cell swing, you can stop that and potentially get 2 draws or at least 1 draw, and then go fully in. And then 2 Fighting Against Fate being a very good card for Angry Sing to get even more pressure with it. But yeah, congrats to Roy on getting another top cut place with Sin again. And then for 11th place we have Ivan, who managed to make top 16 with his Cell Surge deck. I know a lot of people are interested in his list, so here we have it. Quite a strong list, very focusing on the hand control like Cell Surge does, and some interesting tech choices as well. It's got the unisons being the demographic. I think he's gonna go more into detail on his list on his channel, on his team he's part of the team The Lookout. So if you haven't if you want to see him go over more detail on his list, because he'll go into more detail about tech choices and stuff, feel free to check out their channel, The Lookout on YouTube, and he'll probably have soon up a video going over more in depth the video. So go and check that out if you want to understand more about his tech choices and stuff, which I would recommend. But the very strong list, very controlling. I think I did when going through some games as well, I'd pop into it and see watch a little bit of this game, and it's nice, interesting deck choices, especially with the Fu Banishes. I love that card. It's just nice to see that he's playing that in there to put more pressure, because with this deck you're putting a lot of pressure on your opponent's hand. You get low, so once you drop this as well, to be able to attack at least 3 times with it, your opponent's going to run out of resources or not have enough resources to help to stop it pushing through for game and stuff. So then we got for 12th place we have Antonio with his King Vegeta list. So this is quite an interesting list, quite different. Does have the full card as standard, 2-2 split on the invaders with Raditz and Vegeta. No Gohan Goku. Sorry, the other list had SS Goku, SSG Goku, where this one just has SSG Vegeta. 4 switching gears as well, and also none of the chain attack balance crew as well, which is quite interesting. Only 2 also, but he does have still 3, 4 of the Piccolo, which I think all lists played 4 of the Piccolo Unison, and also 3 a new ruler and 2 of the Yamcha Cow play to go with it. I think instead of the 1-drop Bardock's crew, he's got 4 Saiyan Cabo, which is quite interesting. It's pretty cool. It's a one we haven't. It's been out since set 1, and is a good way to help get pressure onto your opponent's unisons because of when it attacks, it can double strike and 10k, being a 50k double strike, which is cool. And also he's running like some stuff you normally expect in the red and green list, like red and green launch stuff, like with the Tau and Belmont. And he's also running Bardot Resolute, which is a lot of decks don't really run, which is quite interesting. And also he's running 3 of the Heartfelt Play, which is quite interesting. It's like I'm not sure what cards he's able to bring out with. I probably should make sure that is the correct one, but I'm not sure how he was going to be able to bring that out in this deck. I don't really see much that can increase the power of anything. I don't really guess to say what you can increase the power of, but there's nothing really to get a power increase from this. But he seems I did check. It was the right code they had in it, but he's running 3. So I'm not sure how he was able to play this in the deck. So that's an interesting choice to know. I understand why he's running out without a way to drop it. But the rest of the list was quite standard. Only 2 Rays and only 2 Imposing Presence, which is interesting, and 2 Wolfang Fists. And the secret choice being the Kai, but also incorporating the S4 Bardock, the Bardock Instinct Overwhelm, along with the BRS to get more pressure. So it's quite aggressive, like launch kind of aggro deck, which is cool. And then on to 13th place, we have Joseph with his Kid Gohan Blue Yellow. So I think Joseph also did his top 4 with the similar deck as well. So with his list, he's got the same standard list, like normal list you have for Kid Gohan. The 4 skillless to go with the lead, and then a lot of the like good yellow stuff with the blue helpful stuff as well. So you got 1 Furious to Fickle God, and 3 of the News of Mastery, because that's also a way to one of those, a multicolored card that can have its energy exhaust negated when charging it if fulfilled by a certain condition. Like I think if it's got another one in board, like so it's got the same kind of thing as Beer's Fickle, but has a better use as well, given that you can use it as counterplay. And a good thing you can use with it as well with the because it's got Indestructible, is making it hard to remove unless your opponent minuses the power to kill it. You can tap it down for the Vegeta to get the marker from his activate main skill, which is quite cool. And then the rest of it is quite standard for blue yellow with control LS, and with it's mainly having the added power of a power to Super Saiyan added in, and there's a math which is quite cool. And I've got him to a 13th place finish at the CardMarket event. Then on to 14th place, we have the last Dark Broly being Boris Dorat. So this one was like an old school Dark Broly list. So Boris went with Dark Broly, but didn't really incorporate most of the new stuff that we've got that people put in it. So he's still got the 7-drop in there, but he doesn't have any of the Gogeta chain. So he decided to go into it, play without the Gogeta chain, like mostly all the ever Dark Broly decks playing. So he still has the standard Dark Broly stuff. Playing one of the Toa Dark Illusion, which is quite a cool one. You're able to sacrifice battle cards, the 30k ones on board, to grab 1 from your warp, so you can grab back your Demogorgon and stuff from your warp. So you never really lose access unless you charge any of them. Still same with the Brainwash, True Power, Demogorgon, and the Demogorgon and the True Fighting Spirit Goku. So you did have the materials for the Gogeta chain, but didn't put the Gogeta chain. I'm not sure if you wasn't able to get the Gogeta chain, or just decided not to go for it. 2 Gravy as well. So without the Gogeta, that's another way to recycle back cards from your warp to drop. And he was running 1 of the Food Shrouded in Mystery. So that's a great finisher if you can get the turn 6, and depending, Dark Broly can be aggressive, he can be quite defensive, he can play quite a different amount of ways. I used to like it. I liked the fact that it was back before we got the Toa kit with the 7-drop, it is quite a deck that can be quite defensive, like very defensive, while controlling as well, which is quite cool. And he also went with the Piccolo Unison as well, so that's quite a good one for the deck, where you'd be able to like discard, do its +1 to discard a Dark Brody from hand and draw new cards. So you set up cards more when you drop and you to warp with Dark Brodies, while also gaining markers on it and not really losing anything because you're drawing a card in it as well. And the only difference in extra cards from the last one was he's got a copy of Portraits of the People in the main as well. So that's it for the last Dark Broly. And next one we have is 15th place, which I think is Hatchak, piloted by Lucas. Well, I assume it's Lucas. Sorry if you're watching, I've got your name wrong. It's I'm not great with European names. And so Lucas with his Hatchak deck. So if you're interested in seeing the Hatchak list, here it is. It has been a while since I've seen a Hatchak list, and since I last saw it back like set 8, it has changed a lot with all the black stuff, black cards we've got. So I'm gonna try and get a interview with Lucas to go over his list, because it's quite interesting, and I'm sure many of you watching will be interested in seeing, like, understanding behind his like tech choices and reasoning behind. Because I'm interested in knowing how useful the combo freezer was, and a lot of, behind a lot of the tech choices. Like, got Devil Man, which is quite cool. That's one I haven't seen really using anything since release. And fully teched out, 60 cards with a lot of tech choices. So look forward to a interview video with Lucas coming soon on the channel as well. And then last but not least is the 16th place deck, which is David Perez, or Serrano Perez, with his Mecha Frieza list. So by the looks of it, all of the Mecha Friezas were the more aggressive, like the new aggressive versions using green. Pretty standard list of the rest. Only real differences is that he was running two robotic riposte, and also playing as well one Nimbus and one Giant Ball for extra effects. But the rest of the extra cards are standard. Same tech cards and stuff like that, secret rare with realm choices and things like that. So quite a standard list, just also having a Flying Nimbus and Giant Ball in his deck as well. So there you have it. That is the top 16 decks from the July 10th CardMarket. July 10th CardMarket Webcam Regional. So don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Have any questions, or if you want me to try and get an interview with any of the players to find out more about the lists, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to keep up to date with my videos as when they come. I try to make sure that anytime a big event like the webcam regionals and stuff, I try to get the breakdown done so we can show out, because we don't see much coverage from the EU events, and I feel it's like time to put a change that. So if you enjoyed this, thank you for watching. It's been a quicker video than I try to make it a quicker video than I normally do, but still chill the lists off. And as I said, if you want me to try and get any interviews with the players, let me know, and I'll try and see if I can get. So, like, some people might want to be interviewed, might not want to be interviewed, but some might be fine with it. And I'm gonna try and get. And it's also nice to hear from the EU players when they do well at events, to get their side of it, because we don't hear much from EU players outside of a few. So once again, thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye for now.